how may I help you today?
Hello, I'm thinking about moving to Chile to start my own farm. What can you tell me about agriculture's role in Chile? And I want to know if the risk is worth taking.
Okay, well, why don't we start with some basics? Let's see. Chile imports petroleum, chemicals, and vehicles, among other things. They export copper, fish, fruit, and wine. Exports in the agricultural sector are what drive the economy here in Chile, and the ag sector also has helped to raise income and reduce poverty in this nation.
So I take it that means I would have a pretty good chance at finding a Chile agricultural sector.
I would say yes. Agriculture is responsible for about 9.2% of the labor force and contributes to 4.2% of the gross domestic product of the country.
So what's the land availability?
There's about 0.17 acres of available arable land per person, which makes up about 1.71% of Chile's total land area.
That's a lot to handle. What would your opinion be?
I'm not a farmer, obviously, but looking at these figures and knowing that the agricultural sector has the potential to grow through technological innovation, I would say that you have a good chance at making a life here.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, of course, I hope I can help your decision.
Yes.
I'm the owner of Kniv Vineyards, where we produce wine grapes for several wineries that export wine to other countries. Chile is number 8 in the world for wine production.
What is an average day like for you?
I work mostly in the business side, calculating the amount of water needed and how much it will cost the vineyard. I work a lot with the accounting part of the vineyard, but I also like to go out and check the fruit every day. My work hands work throughout the season, thinning, pruning, and harvesting the vineyard grapes.
What livestock or crops can be found on this farm?
I own a large vineyard of about 260 acres with several work hands.
How many people live and work on the farm?
I am the only one living on the vineyard, but I have anywhere between 30 to 60 work hands depending on the season. During harvesting season, we need more part-time workers, while during the growing season, we need fewer full-time workers. Working at the vineyard is tedious work and requires a lot of attention.
Do you consume most of your produce, or is it marketed off?
None of the product is consumed here, but instead is marketed off to many of the wine producers who then export it to other countries or throughout Chile.
Where is the nearest market?
The nearest market is Santiago and is the country's capital. This is also where we buy our equipment.
Is there any production challenges?
Pests are a big problem and the vines need a pesticide to help with this problem. Also, weeds will affect the growth of the vines, so herbicide is needed. Temperature is not a huge problem in Chile because of the lack of temperature change throughout the year. One other problem is water, because water has to be bought from nearby rivers, for example, the Baker River.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Yep.
Hello, welcome to Chili's, your one-stop shop for all your necessities.
Well, what kind of products do you have?
We have all the ingredients for many Chilean dishes, such as empanadas. Of course, don't forget the Chilean wine. The foods here are generally a combination of traditional Spanish cuisine, indigenous cultures, and local ingredients. This is also influenced by German, Italian, and French cuisines. The food here is fairly simple but varies. Seafood, beef, fruit, and vegetables are all featured heavily in this region.
How are the trade relations with the U.S.?
Chile is the 29th largest goods trading partner with the U.S., with $24.2 billion in total. In 2017, the U.S. exports of agriculture products to Chile totaled $941 million. We currently export fresh fruit, which is about $1.7 billion in revenue. Wine and beer is about $284 million. Processed fruits and vegetables is $258 million. Planting seeds is about $163 million. And fruits and vegetable juices is $67 million to the U.S. We are their 10th largest supplier of agricultural imports.
Where are the imports and exports?
Well, most of our imports are petroleum and petroleum products. We import some chemicals, electrical, and telecommunication devices, equipment, and industrial machinery. We also import a lot of vehicles and natural gas. Much of our bovine generally go to Paraguay, Brazil, and Argentina. Animal feed goes to Bolivia most of the time. Wheat goes to Argentina, the US, and Canada, and corn typically goes to Argentina, Paraguay, and the US.
The leading exports are wine, copper, fish, chemicals, paper products, and fruit. Copper generally goes to China, Japan, and India, while refined copper goes to China, the US, and South Korea. Fish generally goes to the United States, Japan, and Canada, and wine commonly goes to China, the US, and Japan. Sulfate chemical wood pulp will go to China, South Korea, and the Netherlands.
Say I was to start my own farm, what would you recommend me farm to sell to places like this?
Well, vineyards for vine grapes are very common. You could also grow avocados, sugar, wheat, canola, and barley. If you were looking into the livestock industry, you could farm beef, cattle, poultry, hogs, or alpacas.
All this talk about Chile has got me interested about what kind of history they have. Let me do some research. Oh, Chile covers 743,812 square kilometers of land and about 12,000 square kilometers of water, and is known as the 38th largest nation in the world. Wow. That's exciting. Is that it was divided into 12 periods. Some random facts about Chile. The national colors are red, white, and blue. The official language is Spanish. Their biggest tourist attractions are the world's largest swimming pool, the Atacama Desert, which is the driest place on Earth, Easter Island, which has the largest inactive volcanoes, and the oldest mummy in the world. Chile also has a large population of wild penguins on the north coast of Chile. One such penguin is the southern rockhopper penguin. Fascinating stuff about Chile. Wow.